Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming. We're going to take a look at the Brutalis Dreadnought, which is the melee Redemptor Dreadnought variant. It's got a good highish level of strength for close range shooting, and it's got some additional low strength shots for taking out chaff that's trying to close down the unit. It's got two melee profiles, so it offers a lot of flexibility for the targets you want to choose to attack, and its strike attack is quite high in strength, which is very nice. It's got mortal wound ability when charging in, just for some extra damage, but it is a touch on the expensive side. Taking a look at the datasheet, comes in at 175 points. It's movement 8, toughness 10, 2 up save, which is very nice, 12 wounds, leadership 6, and 4 objective control. It also comes with the deadly demise D3, so when it explodes on a D6 of a 6, it would do D3 mortal wounds to any units within 6 inches. For the range profile, it comes in at a ballistic skill 3. As standard, it comes with 2 small arms weapons, the first one being the Brutalis bolt rifles. This has the twin link keyword, so you can reroll that wound roll. It's 24 inches, 4 attacks, strength 4, minus 1 AP, 1 damage. Then we have the twin Icarus Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. This has the anti-fire 4+, so it wounds anything with the fly keyword on a 4+. Rapid fire 3 and twin linked. It's got 36-inch range, 3 attacks, strength 4, minus 1 AP, 1 damage. It's got 2 options for its heavier weapon, the first being a twin linked heavy bolter. This comes with sustained hits 1 and twin linked. It's 36-inch range, 3 shots, strength 5, minus 1 AP, 2 damage. Lastly, we have the twin multi-melter. This comes with the melter 2 keyword, so when you do your d6 damage, you plus 2 at half range. It's twin linked and it's got an 18-inch range, 2 attacks, a nice strength 9, minus 4 AP, and d6 damage. For the melee profile, it comes in at weapon skill 3, and it comes with the Brutalis fists, which are twin linked. There's 2 profiles, the first being strike, being 6 attacks, strength 12, minus 2 AP, 3 damage. Followed by the sweep attacks at 10 attacks, strength 7, minus 2 AP, 1 damage. Quite a nice bit of flexibility there for when you want to target the much heavier to hit targets, your toughness 12. But if you are going into your T3 or your T4 bodies, that strength 7 is going to come in very handy, especially for T3 because you'll be wounded on the 2s. For his ability, he comes with the Brutalis Charge. So when you end a charge, you get to select one enemy unit and you roll 1d6. If you roll a 2 to 3, it'll be d3 mortal wounds, a 4 to 5, 3 mortal wounds, and if you roll the big 6, it'll be d3 plus 3 mortal wounds. So the best option with this guy is to equip him with the melter. You're only losing 1 shot and you're gaining AP and strength. You're almost doubling the strength and you're gaining 3 AP. You've got the d6 potentially with the plus 2 damage, and you're just losing sustained hits 1. There's no real reason to take the heavy bolter. And for your strikes options, there's 2 great options there. If you're going into your likes of your Carnifexes or your Rogal Dawn tanks, and you are going to be using that strength 12 attack with the 3 damage, but anything lighter than that, anything below your strength 7, you are going to be using that 10 attack sweep option just to get those additional hits in, because you still have the 2 AP and the 1 damage isn't too bad in that situation. So what buffs and combos can you give to the Brutalis Dreadnought? Well, as standard, with it being a vehicle, you do get the Tech Marine, which in the command phase you can grant him +1 to the hit roll, and you can heal as well. You're only really going to get utility out of this for the first turn or 2, and then the Brutalis is probably going to be too far away to utilize this ability. There's a couple of detachments that he's quite good in. First, we'll go over the Iron Storm Spearhead. The detachment rule for this is reroll a hit roll, wound roll, or damage roll per phase, which is quite nice when he's got the multi-melters, which you do want to be hitting and wounding on, but having that d6 damage is very nice, and it makes him more efficient in combat as well, because you do have an inbuilt reroll there when needed. There's a piece of war gear for Tech Marine called Target Augury Web. If you're within 6 inches, you get lethal hits, which is very nice for the Brutalis. There's another piece of war gear called the Machine of War. This allows you to advance and fall back and still shoot when you're within 6 inches of the character carrying this war gear. It gives you a little bit more flexibility with the model and allows you to use those multi-melters to your advantage. There's a couple of stratagems that are quite good, the first one being Mercy's Weakness. This gives you sustained hits 1 against units that's below starting strength, and due to the fact that you're a vehicle unit, you get to critically hit on a 5+, which is very nice. There's another stratagem called Ancient Fury. You can select the Brutalis in your command phase, and until your next command phase, he gets +1 improvement to his movement, toughness, leadership, and objective control, which is really nice. He also gets a +1 to hit in melee, allowing you to hit on 2s, which is really powerful. There's another 2 detachments where you can get a lot of play out the Brutalis, the first being the Stormlance Task Force, which is the White Scars detachment. The detachment rule here is that you can advance and fall back and still be able to charge, so you can get more capability out of your melee during the entire game. There's a stratagem called Blitzing Fusillade, which allows your ranged weapons to gain the assault keyword. So when you're advancing to get your charge off, you're still able to utilize all your small arms weapons as well as your twin-linked multi-motor. The rest of the war gear and stratagems within the detachment is all geared toward mounted mainly or infantry units, but just having that ability to advance and fall back and still charge, as well as granting the assault to your multi-weapons, is a very powerful combination for having a Brutalis. It basically allows you a turn 1 charge to get into the heart of the enemy, taking objectives where you want, or you can use it as a counter punch and have quite a long threat range. If you consider you've got an 8-inch movement, potentially an average of 4-inch advance, and then you've got a 7-8-inch charge, you've got a 20-inch threat zone there where you can easily get charges off quite consistently. Finally, we have the Gladys Task Force. The detachment rule here is combat doctrines, so the most play you'll get out of the Brutalis is using the assault doctrine for your advance and charge. There's a really good stratagem called Honor the Chapter. This grants the lance keyword, so you get that +1 to wound, which is very nice with your twin-linked melee weapons. And if you're in the assault doctrine, you get an additional AP, which is really nice, putting you up to -3 AP in melee. There's a stratagem called Adaptive Strategy. This allows you to select the doctrine of the unit. This is if you've already used this doctrine as well. You can use it again, so you can keep this guy in the assault doctrine for as long as needed. Finally, there's a stratagem called Only in Death Does Duty End. Each time this model unit has been targeted and the model's been destroyed, you can fight on death, even if they haven't already fought. So if you fought already, you can't fight. It's only if you haven't fought. And to have these high-powered, decent AP, decent damage attacks coming back just allows you to pretty much take care of what's actually come in and killed you. So he's quite a good model. He's surprisingly really good in the Iron Hands detachment, which is mostly a shooting detachment, but there's a couple of stratagems and buffs there that you can give him to get the most out of his melee capability. He's quite a versatile all-round unit. His shooting profile is quite good. It's just a bit short range and it's a little bit variable in damage due to the D6 damage. But in melee, he's quite a monster. He can come in and wipe out single units, whether they're high toughness or low toughness units. He's got a lot of flexibility built in. The only problem is his price point at this is quite high at 175. It'd be nice if he come down to 160, 155 to get the most out of him. I think if he was at the 150 range, he'd be edging towards that auto include for a lot of people just because of his flexible capability. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, then pop them below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button as it greatly helps the channel. Hit the subscribe button to see any future Warhammer content. Take it easy and see you next time for more grim darkness from the 41st millennium.